Well, this just isn't gonna work at all.
Yeah, this is quite a bit better. Okay, if a friend or family member sent this video to you, they're maybe trying to find a polite little hint that your video calling game could use a little work. And we're totally going to walk you through that. We've got your back. But if you clicked on this video yourself, you get a thumbs up from me because I'm always excited to chat with folks who want to get more out of their tech purchases. This holiday season, chances are pretty good you'll probably tackle a few video calls. So here are some handy tips to make those calls a little nicer. And in between all those holiday calls, we'd be ever so grateful if you could still carve out just a little time to keep up with all the work here on reviews.org. Hitting those subscribe options down below will keep you in the loop, and hopefully you didn't miss out on our huge holiday contest this year. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm just saying. Getting to the point. Video calls. You may have noticed that the video quality on this is just a little different than what I usually upload to the reviews channel. We're not trying to make our tips look like magic. I am really trying to recreate the vibe that you might get using your phone to tackle some video calls. What was once ridiculous fantasy in 1980s sci-fi is a practical reality today. But of course, we're not all fancy YouTubers or video producers. So how can we take the tech you already have, just spruce up that quality? We want your family and friends to want to video call with you. I think there's a cute generational difference in how people treat video calls. Younger people more inclined to just jump on a call, more like an audio only call. And the older people I know, they tend to want to set up a nicer scene. In your circles of family and friends, you know some people who just call on a whim, and you know others who, they have to plan ahead, and then you text them, and then they let you know when you're ready to broadcast. But for a holiday call, maybe we want this to feel just a little nicer. So here are our top 4 tips for better video calls. Tip number 1, you need better light. Anytime we're working with photos or video, the better you can control your light, the better your light is, the better your image will be. The tricky thing about video calls, you're probably using the worst camera you own. If it's the smallest camera sensor on your phone or your tablet, or if you're using a laptop webcam. I've never understood why we still suffer laptops with such mediocre camera sensors. It's current year and we still act like it's a big deal when a laptop can handle 1080p video. Our phones are out there shooting 4K. I'm shooting 4K from a selfie camera. I'm better. Regardless, we've got to handle that. We've got to improve on it and feed these little sensors the best light that we can. The problem is people tend to keep their homes a little more cozy. You don't see a lot of production grade lighting in living rooms these days. And where we might normally put chairs and couches, might not always have the best lighting. And when it comes to our lamps, I've got top-down recessed lighting from my ceiling, and then we might put other lamps off to the corners of our room. It might look kind of silly, especially if your neighbors are walking by while you're in the middle of a call, but sitting right in front of a window and with your back to the rest of the room can give you really lovely natural light. It's kind of what I'm doing to create this shot right here, and then I'm just using a lamp with one extra bulb to kind of give my face a little bit of a fill. This is more difficult if we're calling in the late afternoon or early evening. I still think your best bet would be to move a lamp around so that you can get better illumination on your face. Depending on your home, that can look a little extreme, kind of horror movie style if your face is too illuminated. It's easy for me to say, it's not always easy to do, but if you can, keep a lamp on you and then see if you can also get some kind of light on in the background just to help balance everything out. Again, the better we can control the light, the better this image is going to look. Tip number 2, we need better sound. Now, the image you send is important. I'm not trying to write that off, but this is a video call, so the audio is kind of critical too.
Smartphone microphones are surprisingly good these days, but the audio it's attached to the phone. I like to call this camera perspective audio. So the farther you get from the phone, the more of the room you're going to pick up. It might get a little boomier, you might sound a little bit more distant. But even when we're fairly close, these phone mics are usually pretty wide. and they're probably going to pick up more noise around you in your general environment.
If only there were some kind of easy way to attach a microphone that might be even closer to your mouth and minimize the amount of noise that might come from handling your phone in the middle of a call. Yeah, these things still exist. Headphones. Headphones can come in really handy. Now, this is a twofold benefit because it's likely you'll sound clearer to whoever you're talking to. They're not going to have to hear more of your room, and with earbuds in, you'll probably be able to hear your family better on the other side of the call. It's a win-win. All I'm saying, it's totally worth a test drive, either on cabled headphones or on Bluetooth. Give it a spin. Take a listen. This also might help you sit just a little farther back from your phone or your laptop. But let's say you really can't use earbuds or headphones, or maybe you're in a group, like it's my wife, my daughter, and I, and we all want to jump on a video call together. You might be able to get a little fancy with a good Bluetooth speaker. Quite a few consumer speakers have microphones built in for just this reason, so that you can use it as a conference or a speakerphone. You keep the speaker a little closer to you. Everyone tries to sit about the same distance away from the speaker, and it should improve on your video call audio fidelity. Moving on, tip number 3, stabilize. You may have noticed some of these tips have mentioned things like moving farther away from a phone, propping a phone up near a window. Video calls are accessible, they're quick, they're easy, but holding the phone means sending a constantly moving and shakier image to your family. And plus, if you're catching up, you're wanting to spend a little time chatting, you're probably not gonna wanna hold the phone the whole time you're on a call, let alone if you have a few calls you need to make over the holiday season. This is obviously a little easier on a laptop because the screen is just naturally propped up by the laptop hinge, but it still might be worth it, finding a way to elevate that laptop. You could stack some boxes, maybe get one of those folding TV trays just to get the screen and the webcam a little higher so it feels like everyone's talking on the same level. When it comes to our smaller gadgets or smartphones or tablets, there are a ton of solutions to do something similar. One of my favorite tablet stands can often be found for less than $10 on Amazon, and it works pretty well for phones too if you just need something quick to prop it up on a table or by your windowsill. The fancier solution, I'm a huge fan of picking up really inexpensive camera tripods to use with phones. I got this tripod over 10 years ago at a Target for like $20. It's plasticky, it's kind of janky, but it's still getting the job done. It's pretty easy to get the job done when the job is stand still. These cheaper plastic or aluminum tripods might not be super nice for more expensive standalone cameras, but they're plenty good to handle the weight of a smartphone. Just get a cheap mount or a clip, and you can set up your phone exactly where you need it at the exact right height and the exact right angle. And if you're pairing this up with some wireless earbuds, you can set a wider shot. You can move around, you can still hear everything more clearly, you can get farther from your phone. You're not rigidly stuck to one spot in your home. You can generally move around a bit more, and I think you can stay more comfortable that way. And as a quick aside, if you really want to get fancier still, you can also shop phone mounts that you can clip other accessories to, like lights and dedicated microphones. But I'll need to save that for a future video. And bringing this video home, tip number 4, stay comfortable. I think this is the most important. I want to circle back to this one idea. The main thing I think will make or break a video call, just stay comfy. Bringing this back to my family, we're not super formal when it comes to the Thanksgiving or the Christmas dinner. We spend a lot of time, we work hard in that kitchen to make good food. Thanksgiving for us is like a week-long affair of food prep and then also multiple days of eating leftovers. So after all of that hard work, we want to stay real comfy when we eat. I kind of like that philosophy for video calls. Once you've set up a good location, you've got some good light, you've handled some good audio, you should just be able to relax and have a nice moment catching up with people you care about. Of course, there's always going to be more to dig into when talking about media and communication apps. I'd be down to take a closer look at video call and conferencing applications. We could take a closer look at streaming products or recording gear that might not only help your video calls, but could also improve your family videos. We're trying to capture and preserve some memories. Maybe we should also check out some ways to share photos and videos with our friends and family without always relying on social media and getting all our likes and thumbs ups and stuffs. If those sound like video topics you might be interested in, drop some comments down below and we can work with the reviews team. I can talk to Shaka and Craig, really come up with some great tips and tricks to make sure we're getting everything we can out of the products we probably already own. The holidays are a time to come together. So I think sharing this kind of information is really fun. So make sure you keep up with the reviews.org team. I hope you didn't miss the holiday contest where you might be getting paid to watch your favorite holiday films, and stay tuned for more great reviews, videos, and tutorials. From all of our families to yours, happy holidays. I hope you're safe, warm, well-fed, and getting to spend some quality time with people who care about you, either in person or over a better video call. As always, thanks so much for watching, for sharing these videos, subscribing to the channel. For reviews.org, I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell, aka Some Gadget Guy, and I'll catch you all on the next video.